Water conditions are excellent. The flows in the river, which are always a concern, are just right. There's a small downstream flow, which I think gives a little bit of a pep in the step, if you like, of the swimmers, as opposed to there being a very fast flow.
Yeah, it's a lovely race. It's great for beginners because the swim, it's not as if you have to swim a mile up and a mile down. You're able to see where you're going in the swim, and you're able to see that you're nearly finished. And the bike is mainly flat and it's short, and the same with the run, apart from one hill during the town. There's a good atmosphere with the spectators near the finish line and the music, so it's a great race for beginners. Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
I suppose the river swim is quite nice. 17.5 degrees today, water temperature, which is quite helpful. Pretty flat bike route, and a nice town centre and out and back flat run route as well. So pretty accessible for first timers. We have a super sprint as well, which is always very popular. We ran our first super sprint, I think it was in year 1 in fact, and it was very, very popular because often the swim is obviously quite challenging for people who are starting off in the sport. So having a 300 metre downstream only swim really helps to get people interested in the sport, not get rid of that phobia of open water, which is always a challenge for people who are not used to it. And I think that's one of the things that is always very popular about the event.
Been gradually learning how to handbike, trying to learn how to swim. I'm paralysed from the chest down, so that changes everything about your buoyancy, how you're able to stay up in the water, what way your body moves. I haven't even got to the run part, which is the race wheelchair. I just got one a few days ago, so that's why I didn't do the run today. So it's been a huge voyage of discovery into a world I knew nothing about prior to September.
Dramatic at the start. There was about 160, 170 I think in the first ladies wave, so it was a bit choppy at the start, especially up to the first buoy, and then when you turn around there it got a little bit more spread out, but it's always frantic to the first buoy anyway. I used to be a runner and got injured, so I did a little bit of cycling, a bit of swimming, and then from then on decided to do something a bit different from running, so I took up triathlon, so about 5 years ago. I think it's just become a lot more accessible to people. I think at one time it was seen as a bit of an elitist kind of sport, whereas now there's so many races. Some of them are fairly inexpensive to enter. Everyone can get a bike, everyone can get a pair of runners, and I think a lot of people want to challenge themselves, and I just think it's just a lot more accessible to people throughout Ireland at the moment.
It's always a bit of a sprint at the start, just to make sure you don't get caught behind people who are a bit slower than you. So once you sprinted out at the start, I think there was 3 or 4 of us kind of who were setting a fast pace, and just from there on it was grand. It wasn't really rough. I was first around the first marker, so it wasn't really a bit much punching or anything, thank God. It's lovely, it's a nice swim. You get to go under the bridge, and under the next bridge when the sun is shining down you get kind of a shock when you get under the bridge. It's real dark, it's hard to see anything, but yeah, it's a nice swim, it's nice and close, and if you're standing on the bank you can see the whole thing, so it's really good for spectators. It's nice to be able to bike on the roads. There's no cars coming past you. It was a really nice bike course, and the wind was it's a funny old strong wind there, and you're just working into it on the way out, and you had a tailwind on the way back. It was really nice. Coming back into town, there's a housing estate and there's nobody there, and you come around the corner into town and all you hear is shouting and people smiling, enjoying themselves in the sun, so it's great. Yeah.
I suppose coming off the bike, you're always kind of unsure where you are. I think I was first in from my wave off the bike, so you never know how far the girls are behind you. But because it's a wave race as well, the wave behind, you're always kind of worried who's in that wave, if they're going to find time on you. Because you're not racing head to head, it's always a bit different than when it's a 2-wave race.
We have 250 people working on the event, so it takes a lot to put it together. We've, I think, 90 odd across water safety, first aid, etc. And then about 40 people on the run. And that's on top of registration and the whole back end logistics and all of that as well. So it's a big crew.
It feels like I'm drowning, pulling against the stream, pulling against the... can make it easy.